joined by Michael Federico, University of Louisiana Monroe. How are you, man?
Good morning, B. Doing good. How about you?
I'm fantastic. Look how easy this was today. No problems.
A little difficult last week. A little panic moment. Felt like I was trying to get my closer in the game last week, trying to get on there.
Hey, you've redeemed yourself,
That's right.
A long stretch out of the bullpen to make it happen today.
No doubt. No doubt.
Hey, good to have you on. So, all right, everybody. So we are in week 3 of our Stay Ready campaign, featuring some unbelievable D1 baseball partners of ours from across the country. Today, right here with us, Michael Federico, Louisiana Monroe. Dude, you've got a long history of winning as a player and a coach. You played at Hines Junior College, and then you were coaching at then you played at Southern Miss. Had a great career, team captain. You were a catcher. Oh, God, they shut the lights off on me. Hang tight. They got the lights off. Something always happens.
On here. That's right.
All right. There we go. Back in the light. So after you're done, you got right into coaching. You've been coaching for over 20 years, head coach at the JUCO level, grinded it out at the D1 level, at Memphis and Southern Miss, your alma mater, and then finally getting the job at Louisiana Monroe to lead the Warhawks baseball program in the Sun Belt Conference. Awesome ride. Tell us a little bit about that grind.
It's definitely been a grind, but I've worked with some tremendous people in my career. It started out. I played for Hill Denson, was a longtime coach at Southern Miss, and then was fortunate enough to get on staff with Corky Palmer, who at the end of his career was able to take Southern Miss to Omaha, and I got there right after he retired, and was able to work with Scott Berry and also Darren Schoenrock in his time at Memphis. So I've been around some tremendous people, some tremendous assistant coaches, and been very, very fortunate in my career with the people that I've been at, and some great places with winning in mind.
I would say that probably set you up really good to be an excellent head coach. I mean, looking back through the stuff, going to the JUCO World Series as a player and a coach, and then numerous trips to regionals with Memphis and Southern Miss. How have those different experiences groomed you into being a head coach and understanding how to go about winning?
Well, I think the grind started for me as being a JUCO player first. I wasn't probably gifted enough to be a Division I athlete out of high school. Things were a lot different back then. A lot more kids were going to junior college. So I had to learn the grind of being a player. And then, I walked on at Southern Miss and then ended up earning a scholarship at my time there. And then got my coaching career started in JUCO. And that was different. It was a different time back then. And then, I've been at some places where, maybe the money wasn't as good at some places as others. So I've learned how to really grind and do the best with the limited resources that we've had. And I think it's set me up really well to be a Division I head coach, because money's a factor at every place. And I've experienced those things, and I've definitely been challenged. And I love every minute of being a coach. I love every opportunity of being here at ULM and this league and being in the state of Louisiana. There's tremendous baseball here. So it's been a challenge, and it's been great. We've got off to our best start in school history this year, and of course the season got cut short, so that was disappointing. Felt like we were building something special, and it got cut short. So we'll never know what it would have been for this year, but it's definitely put me in a position to see all different sides of the story, and that's one thing that I've been thankful for, the places that I've been and the people I've worked for.
I agree with that, and that was going to be my next point. You guys were having a great season. You were at 12-5. You got the team rolling, and then boom, all of a sudden, coronavirus, everyone, everything's shut down. What kind of message do you give to your players when the season's over?
That was the toughest part. For me, we had 14 seniors on our team, so we had a lot of guys that were at the end of their career. We'll see what happens with all the new things that are going on with seniors coming back, but 11 of my 14 guys graduated this week. So, I'm excited about that side of it. And it's hard to say goodbye. I had one of our last team meetings, one of my junior pitchers was like, "Coach, we're going to have exit meetings." I'm like, "No, man, we'll be back in a couple of weeks." And, everything else has been on Zoom or through text messages or phone calls. That's the hardest part, is not to, give them that, celebratory hug or thank you that for all the things that they've done. And this senior group was a part of a class that they bought into what myself and my coaching staff were trying to build. And that's been tough because I haven't been able to, give them a hug and say thank you for being a part of this thing and getting me, my first recruiting class that's going through this place. So that's been a challenge, and making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to in the classroom. But it's been awesome. I mean, I've loved every minute of it, and I know we're all in this boat together. We're in the storm together. We're just on different boats. We all have our different struggles and challenges at every school that we're at, every job that we're with all this Corona stuff.
That's right. And I mean, how do you motivate listen, you are going to come back. Baseball will happen again in 2021. How do you keep the guys hungry and fired up to keep this momentum rolling into that next season?
Yeah, I think the first thing is they have to understand the student part of the student athlete. They've got to continue to keep doing what they're supposed to do in the classroom, stay on track, keep the parents' money or the loans that they're taking out to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to in the classroom. I think ultimately that's the most important thing. That was a controllable that we could continue to keep doing. The baseball side of it was uncontrollable. And I think we did a great job with our Miranda Weed, our academic counselor, and our assistant coaches of staying on top of our guys of doing that. And then the baseball side of it, just doing what they can. Our strength coach, Mike Gardner, put up a backpack workout that, they all got their backpacks from the season, and he came up with a workout for them to do that because they couldn't get to gyms. Those that couldn't, they had a workout to be able to do, and were able to take care of their bodies. And that was one thing that we stressed to them. Eat right, get your sleep, get the fluids in your body so that next year when they get back here, they're that much better and they're not further behind.
I love what you say about controlling the controllables. It's all you can do right now. So probably, staying in that routine, giving your kids the direction and motivation to work out, eat right, sleep well, and the business side, man, like take care of your grades. Like you can't take care of the grades, you're not coming back, period.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
All right, so let's see. I was going to ask you a couple questions about, you were a catcher back in the day, right?
Correct.
You work with pitchers a lot. So do you have any tips, for catchers, specifically for a catcher? What kind of stuff can they be doing at home to prepare during this time? What's a good drill for those guys to do?
I think first off is mobility's become such a big, word in our game right now. And I think the stretching and mobility side of it to loosen their hips up and things like that. I mean, a lot of kids are sitting around doing nothing or they're sitting on the couch. And I think a big part of it is doing the stretches and making sure that they're staying loose. From the defensive side of things, I mean, they can continue to keep getting their arms stronger. I mean, that's what every catcher needs to have. And they doing, weighted ball things. They could find ways to do those things. And then I think for me, catchers need to be active. Get a tennis ball, throw it up against the wall and work on your hands and your the softness of your receiving a baseball. I think that's something that they can do. And that's something that can be done on a daily basis. They can get, somebody to flip them frisbees. They can do anything, everything. We're in that. I tell our players right now, we're in that Rocky IV age, right? I mean, I've got two that are up in Canada, and it was 13 degrees there a week or so ago for one of my guys, and he's got 2 5-gallon butt on a pole, and he's doing bench press stuff with it. I got another one that's got a 300-foot dock that he runs down that he gets to, his outside doing something. They just have to get creative. I've got a kid from the Midwest throwing balls into an Afghan that he's got hanging up in his garage. They can get tees out and they can hit into those, the Easton catch nets and stuff. They just have to get creative and they have to find a way to get better each day.
Do something. All right, so I got an interesting question that a lot of kids will probably like. So on the same lines, I feel like coaches are looking for athletes now, right? You want kids who are athletic at any position. Catchers, I mean, God, they used to be guys who were slower, not anymore. So, what's your take on a baseball guy who may play football or basketball or soccer? Do you like seeing guys play different sports?
I do, BK. To be honest with you, where being in the South where I am too, I mean, football is huge in the state of Louisiana. I mean, the talk radios here in Monroe, Louisiana, they talk about high school football and college football year in and year out. So I love guys that play multi sports. I love guys that play multi positions from a baseball standpoint. Guys that are versatile that can different positions. Middle of the field guys like shortstops and middle and fielders, catchers that can move to different positions. I love. There's something about the competitiveness when you're lined up on a football field or on a basketball, you're having to go one-on-one with somebody. I love that, and we have tremendous amount of our players that have played multiple sports. Even my time at Memphis and at Southern Miss, we recruited a lot of guys that played multiple sports. So I love that. I think it's important.
That's a great answer. I like that too. All right. So